Hello friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather, and today I'm coming to you guys with some back to school book recommendations. Basically, we're going to be talking about some book recommendations that I have that are set in a school setting, and some of these are college school setting, some of them are high school school setting. Do I have high school setting, or are these all college? I think there's some, yeah, no. I can already think of one. Yeah, so kind of a mix of both. So some YA and some adult. And yeah, so mix of different genres as usual because I like to read from multiple things. I know I have some contemporaries, some thrillers, some fantasy. So kind of a mixed bag as far as that goes. But before we jump into the first book, go ahead and click down below on that subscribe button, and also I'll have my Goodreads and Instagram for you guys so we can talk bookish on all of the different platforms, and go ahead and do that, and then we'll jump into my first recommendation for you guys. So the first recommendation that I thought of that kind of like kick-started this, I feel like back to school time happens in September. It's also like fall, tends to be the time of year when I'm just like, I kind of want to read books that are set in a school setting, and this book just seemed like very atmospherically fall to me. But that is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This is a thriller, and we are basically following this professor on a college campus, and every year she chooses the one male on campus that is like the worst human being for some reason or another, and she kills him. And she's been doing this for a while, and so we're kind of in her perspective, and it is really interesting to be coming from her perspective and her kind of choosing her next person that she wants to kill, and we're, getting to know some of the other faculty and students and different stuff, and I think she was an English professor, and you also have another perspective in there of a student as well that is going to the college. So yeah, it's a really fun thriller that is set on a college campus, and you actually kind of start at the beginning of a new school year, so it is set around this time as well. The next recommendation that I have for you is Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is a part of the Brown Sisters trilogy that she has, and we're moving into romance. So this one we're following Dani Brown, who works at a college as well. She's trying to get her PhD, and so she also teaches on the college campus as well. And Zaf works as security for the building that she works in, and one day there's a fire drill, and Dani gets stuck in the elevator, and Zaf goes and saves her, and he carries her out in his arms, and the video of this kind of goes viral. And Zaf also runs a charity for young boys who are athletes, but also to help them with their mental health during that time. And he said, hey Dani, can you fake date with me for a little while, because this has been great for my charity and getting me some people and sponsors and stuff coming my way. And so they start to fake date, and it is just super cute. Zaf is like a marshmallow of a person, and Dani is headstrong and doesn't really believe in relationships, and they balance each other out really well, and they're really cute, and I really enjoyed it. So that's a really fun romance one that is great for fall as well. We really are just going to move all over the board here. So my next one is a YA fantasy, and that's Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I picked this up and I just flew through it. I really loved this book. I was surprised at how much I adored it. In this one, we are following our main character, Bree, here, and she gets accepted to an early college program. So she moves onto campus, and when she's there the first night, she sees like this weird creature and these people going after it and using magic to kind of get this creature or whatever. And so the people kind of wipe everybody's minds of the event, but it doesn't work on her, and that's really unusual. And so she kind of ends up getting kind of enveloped into this secret society on campus that has the Legendborn, and they're all descendants of Merlin, and they fight these beings. I can never remember what they're called. So she's kind of dealing with going to college and being young and dealing with that. She also just lost her mom, and so she's grieving as well. And you see some of her relationship with her dad and her best friend, and she's trying to juggle some of that, but also making new friends and kind of getting more involved with this secret society. And they have trials in here, which I love a good like trial championship thing going on in a fantasy book. So they have to go through trials to actually be a part of the society. And yeah, really fun one, and definitely gives you some good fall vibes as well with the campus. Like when I imagine it in my head, I'm imagining these old brick buildings and leaves falling everywhere, and so adore this one. And so let's go ahead and just go into a mystery novel that's going to work great for fall. This one is set mainly on, I mean, it's kind of set in a school setting, but we are kind of moving around this town as well. But that's A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. And this one's by Holly Jackson. We're following this girl, and she is doing her senior project on an old case from, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 years back. There was this girl who supposedly was murdered by, I believe it was her boyfriend, but our main character, I can't remember her name, she doesn't believe that that's who actually did it. And so she's like kind of playing detective sleuth investigator to try and find out more. And she's trying to work it into her senior project so people like, you know, she can talk to people and question and ask questions and just be like, oh, well, I'm just finding out more information for my senior project. So yeah, it's just kind of a fun, like, mystery where you're trying to figure out what's actually going on. And the audiobook is great. You like hear, she does different like interviews of different people that were involved in the case and different friends of these people and the brother of the guy who got accused. And it's all in like different people's voices and even the text messages back and forth. And then she has like a suspect list that she adds and takes people off of. And I don't know, it's a really fun like YA mystery, and it is kind of set through a school setting. So then I have a middle grade for you guys, and this one's a middle grade horror novel. This one's Small Spaces by Catherine Arden, and this one's got great fall vibes, but also obviously we got a school bus, so we have a school field trip, and these kids are taking a field trip to this farm and learning about farm life and kind of stuff like that. And we also have some creepy scarecrows that kind of end up playing a part in this story. And so in this one, Ollie and a couple of her friends are trying to figure out this weird mystery because Ollie, the day before they go on this field trip, she comes across this woman at the river who's crying, and she has this old diary and she's gonna like throw it in the river, and Ollie like takes it from her and she starts reading it, and she's reading all about like this weird stuff that happens on this farm. And then they end up taking a field trip there, and she's like, that's the woman who's crying by the river. She's like reading the diary, and like weird things start happening to the bus and to the kids, and they're like unraveling this mystery, and there's like, yeah, weird smiley guys. So anyways, it's a really fun, like I'm pretty sure I read this in like a day. It's super fast paced, fun middle grade horror. And then one of my favorite books of the year, Sleigh. So this one is, we do get scenes on school campus as well as our main character at home. I always want to call her Bree for whatever reason, but her name's Kira. And so Kira here, she developed an online role-playing game, and which is amazing. Like she's, you know, in high school, but basically it is for like the Black community. She lives in an area that is very white dominated, and this was a way for her to kind of have some of her Black heritage as well and develop some of that. But then some people get into an argument over the game, and this kid ends up getting killed over it. And so then the media gets involved, and they're saying that she's racist and she needs to come out and talk, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I haven't even told my parents, my friends, like nobody knows that she created this game. And there's just, I don't know, it's a really intricate and interesting story. The game is amazing, like the way the author explains it. And then there's just these great talks about race as well in here and how different people can look at it. And you're just getting a lot of different perspectives from her. Even in her family, different people look at it. Her friends look at it differently. Her boyfriend, like it, and so that's really interesting and intricate in here, but we're kind of following through a good chunk of the school year, I want to say, as she's going on this journey. But this is one of my favorite books, absolutely, of all time, and if I can get more people to read it, I that's all I want to do. And then one that I haven't talked about on my channel in a really long time is What You Wish For. So in this one, we're following, our main character is a librarian at a middle school. Actually, it might be in an elementary school, but they get a new principal, and he is like, we're gonna put bars on the window, everything's gonna be gray, let's paint over like all the colorful mural stuff, like he's all about safety and this kind of stuff. And our librarian, she's like very colorful, wearing all kinds of colors, she's bubbly, and she's like, what is happening right now? This is not like a good environment for the kids. And so they really like kind of are butting heads, but then like there's also like maybe a little budding romance between the two of them. And yeah, so kind of a cute little, it's not even really hate to love. It is a little bit, but like they just have very different ideals, and they're struggling because they both work and they have different ideas on how things should be. And our main character just really wants to almost help this person because she used to know him and he wasn't like this before. So yeah, it's really cute and very sugary sweet. I really like romance that has some little sugary sweetness to it. And then our last recommendation that I have for you guys is With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I love all of her books, but this one's very fall feeling to me. We're starting out the school year and kind of going through the school year with Amoni here. Making sure I got the right name, Amoni. And so Amoni, she goes to this high school and they have a culinary program that she's very into, and she really wants to become a chef one day, but she also has a daughter, and so she's a teen mom. So she's kind of juggling school as well as being a teen mom and working and having a dad that also is in the picture that she's trying to parent her daughter with. And so yeah, we're just kind of following. It's really like very character driven, which I feel like a lot of Elizabeth Acevedo's books are. And this one actually is not told in verse like the rest of hers. It is written traditional style novel. But yeah, it's full of all kinds of fun food stuff. There's like little recipes sometimes in here, and it's just very heartwarming. And Amoni's just amazing. Like she takes on so much and she works so hard, and she's really just trying to be able to have her own goals and build a life for her daughter as much as possible, but then also be there for her daughter as well and try and juggle and balance all of that. And I think it's really cute and I really like this. So there you go. There is a handful of books that are set in kind of a school setting that are perfect for the fall coming up that you can pick up if you haven't already. Let me know if you guys are thinking you might check any of these out, or if you guys have some recommendations of books that are set on a school campus and kind of have some good fall vibes for me to read here in the next couple months. And I will talk to you guys soon. If you made it this far, put some kind of fall leaves or maybe a pumpkin down below because it's that time of year. Really, it's getting close at least. Like I've already decorated, I'm ready. It's happening. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!